story, and I always refer to our love story as a modern day romance, having met on a dating app. Um, but our love story is really one of complete and total surprise. So I had Bumble for maybe 24 hours, and Tyler had it for like 3 days. And I'd never been on a date with somebody like that before. I'd never been on dating apps, really. And so when he asked me to go on a date, it was Valentine's Day, so it was February 14th, 2023. And he asked me to go on a date, which one I thought was so bold, but I was nervous, and so I declined at first. And I was at school and I thought about it. I was thinking about it, and I talked to my friends. I was like, this guy asked me out on a date, and I had thought about it all day long, and there was so much love in the air on campus, and it was the day of love. It was such a sweet day. And so a couple hours later, after thinking about it and really feeling like almost called to go on a date with him, I texted him and I was like, hey, is it too late to retract my answer? And he was like, no, absolutely not. And so the whole time getting ready for our date, I was praying. I was like, Lord, if I'm not supposed to go on this date, let me not go. Stop it from happening. Driving there, I was like, Lord, please, if I'm not supposed to be here and be doing this, because it's a stranger on the internet, hear me out. But I just remember feeling this overwhelming calmness about the whole thing, just like overwhelming peace. I was like, no, I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to be going on this date. And I meet him. He's literally gorgeous. He looks like a Ken doll, a come to life, truly Ken doll, so handsome. And we go on our first date and we just click. And it was so much fun. It was so wonderful. We get back, he drops me off at my car, and I call my sister and I say, Claire, I fear I just met my husband. And she was like, shut up, whatever. But no, that's exactly what I said. I fear I just met my husband. And not because I was scared, but because I was in genuine shock. I was like, he was just he almost felt too good to be true. And the way that we clicked, how kind he was, how on fire he was for the Lord. We talked about our walks, we talked about music, we talked about art, we talked about army and school. And I really felt like during that date, I had known him my entire life. And so I think about that a lot. Claire, I fear I just met my husband. But it wasn't fear. That was the wrong word. It was excitement. It was shock. It was joy. It was everything. And I think that as people, sometimes we can see things or have an experience that almost feels too good to be true, that it can be scary. But that's what the Lord is. I mean, it's just grace and abundance overflowing that we do not deserve. And I truly feel like Tyler, and I know that Tyler is a gift from the Lord to me. And when I think about our love story, I just think about how I really lucked out. I mean, I've really been blessed to be with such a guy who not only just loves me in my entirety, flaws and all, but who loves the Lord more than he could ever love me. And so I know that how he feels for me is so genuine and true, because above all else, he has put the Lord. And so I'd really say that our love story is one of shock and excitement and growth. We've learned so much about ourselves and each other in this relationship. And through deployment, we've really had to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and be like, hey, I'm choosing you. I want to be with you. And to me, it really reflects like the way that, the Lord loves us and how he sacrificed his life for us, that every day he chose us. He loved us so much that he sent his son to die for us. And so love is sacrifice and sweetness, and it's joy. It's everything. It's all the adjectives. It's all the descriptive words. But our love story has been one of adventure and patience and just pure abundance and joy.